tuning into the channel tonight. We are live here, Tech Talk Live, with Rust Belt Mechanic and the Captain. How's it going,
What's
bud?
going on, guys? How's it going? Doing good.
And of course, lucky guests in here tonight. We've got some really great people from Milwaukee Tool. Down here below, we've got Mr. Mark Kelly. How's it going, Mark?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. So we are super excited tonight to be able to bring this one to you. I know we've done quite a few long list of tool companies and people here on the live stream, and we feel really awesome to be able to bring you guys Milwaukee Tools because we all love our red tools. I mean, am I right? Am I right there, Captain?
That is very correct. It's awesome to have the companies that we've had before, but you're gonna break the ice with being our first big, huge, major,
Yeah.
tool company that's going to be on the show. So we first and foremost, thank you for your time and for coming onto the show with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. We're excited to be here, and this will be my first live video podcast. So I guess we're both,
Sweet.
excited for it.
Very awesome. Well, I guess let's go ahead and jump right into a couple of things for it. We've got a lot of people in here already tonight, giving people just a few minutes to kind of roll on in here. Got about 40, 50 people in here. Justin ATV, Speedy Chicks Garage, great channel there. Dick Skinner, Old Car Auto Guy, awesome channels. Also, Corey Suttles. Everybody is rocking in here. Thank you guys for taking time out of your evening to tune in tonight. So let's start with Mr. Mark down here. Mark, let's talk a little bit about yourself. You obviously work at Milwaukee. Let's talk a little bit about your background history. What led you up to working at Milwaukee and what you do there?
Great question. All right. So my name is Mark. I work in our cordless. Basically, we divide out our divisions here on the cordless side into different categories. So I focus on the fastening department. So some of the projects I've worked on would be M12 fuel stubby impact wrenches, the M12 rivet tool, the most recent M12 fuel die grinder. But I've also worked
Killer
on,
tool.
yeah, some good ones. I was the product manager on the Surge, so the M12 and the M18 fuel Surge projects. And in general, I've worked on a lot of the projects like the ratchets, the high torque impact wrench. And that's kind of what I do in the office. I got started in the company about 6 years ago. So I was recruited off campus. I went to school at the University of Colorado at Boulder. I had no intentions of starting a career in the power tool industry. Just kind of happened. I had a friend working for the company, and he said, "Hey, man, this company's going places. You should apply." So I had a little background. My dad owns a construction company in Denver, where I grew up, so I knew a little bit about power tools, and from there, just kind of moved around the country, different sales positions, and then ended up in the office here about 4 years ago, and been doing that ever since.
So you've been pretty much a part of some really big things that a lot of guys in here absolutely love to see. Captain
Yeah.
Ron, what's your favorite red tool?
My favorite red tool, I think, is going to have to be the one that I use literally on a day-to-day basis, and that is my half-inch impact fuel impact that I use
Oh,
for busting nuts off tires and a lot of the heavy-duty stuff that I've got to do. I use that thing literally every single day.
it's
Oh,
good.
yeah. That's the go-to right there. I know I've done quite a few reviews on it. My favorite one for the year, which is why it also made one of my top 5 nifty tools of the year, was the right angle die grinder.
There you
That
go.
thing is just a beast right there. And
Good.
coming in with a $5 donation, thank you, Mr. Shaka Gillis. I know he knows Ryobi's the trash, but we've got Milwaukee here for you to show tonight. Just kind of an inside story with the channel. He likes to remind me of that every time he's in here.
I was watching / listening to a couple episodes. I saw you guys continually episode after episode bringing that up. So like it.
Yep.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah. So let's go in and let's talk a little bit about Milwaukee as a whole. So Milwaukee, how long they been in business now?
So Milwaukee Tool has been around since 1924. So it's a heritage brand, and it really got its roots back in 1924. Henry Ford came to Milwaukee at the time and said, "Hey, we're looking for a better way to drill holes on the assembly line. So they're looking for a lighter weight, more portable solution that ran off electricity instead of some of the air pneumatic products that were out there on the line. So the first tool Milwaukee Tool came out with was called the hole shooter. And in our office, we kind of have a history area. And before the show, I went and did a little bit of, I don't know what the right word is, but I basically stole one off the wall. So
Shh, don't tell the boss.
if Tim Brasher's watching, I apologize. I'm very sorry. But this is it. So it's really cool. When we redid all of our history here, we went out to try to find some of the original trade tools, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see, but it says hole shooter on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was really one of the first drills that was designed to be lightweight, high speed, and this is kind of where Milwaukee Tool got its start. But obviously, we're all aware of really the heritage product that got Milwaukee off the map was the Sawzall. So there's a lot of reciprocating saws on the market, but there's only one Sawzall, and Milwaukee Tool was the inventor of that product. So that's really one of those products that we kind of hang our hat on. And from there, the right angle drill was another big one for us. And over the years, Milwaukee was innovating on the corded side and brought a lot of tools to the core trades. So they've been focused on plumbers, electricians, mechanical users for a long time. And that's where a lot of our products that are heritage products come from, is our focus on those trades specifically. So that's kind of where Milwaukee came from as a history. And Milwaukee Tool is still located here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for some of those who weren't aware of that. So we're proud to be, exactly. Exactly where we started, in the same city where it all started, which is great. So that's kind of the beginning of the company, but really in the early 2000s, there's a lot of ownership changes, and the company was looking for where it was going to go next. And in 2005, we were purchased by Tektronix Industries, and that's really where this whole movement began, was back in 2005. And we decided at that point that we no longer wanted to be a corded tool company. We wanted to become a cordless company. And Milwaukee actually has the most patents on lithium ion technology for power tools over any competitive brand on the market.
Really?
So yeah, it's pretty cool. We're the first power tool company to use lithium ion batteries in power tools on the marketplace. So
how about that? That's quite a few firsts, especially getting into that kind of a market. It was something that was pretty uncharted, I guess, at the time. Everybody was, kind of getting used to the fact that stuff plugged into the walls was, really good. They were just starting to get that because, especially in the automotive trade, we're going to go just from that one as a perspective. It's, we're used to using air. Years and years and years, we're used to using air. But now you guys introduce, all right, you can plug something into the wall and you can have just as much or more power.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing to think about. Pneumatic technology has been around a long time. In I think it was 1800s when the first pneumatic drill was invented. And there's hasn't really been a lot of innovation for pneumatic power tools in, over 100 years. And, obviously there's still a lot of pneumatic tools used in the shop today. And it's great for a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of room for improvement and innovation. So just like cars are, year after year, decade after decade, becoming more advanced, we're excited to start leading the charge for power tools to really start becoming a tool that the mechanic can use in the shop and is going to be more productive and have a better experience than they ever had with some of the older tools that they're using on the market today.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, when Milwaukee kind of got started into the electronic line, we'll say the focus was not obviously towards mechanics and everything. You guys went to your roots with the whole saws and the DIY guys and the contractors and such. At what point did you guys think to jump into the automotive market?
That's a great question. Our cordless strategy was we wanted to start off with making tools like we were saying for mechanics, for mechanical contractors, plumbers. And we saw that there was a big opportunity to go out and make a cordless impact wrench for people installing pipe for sprinkler systems or any sort of HVAC stuff like that. And we had a pretty savvy sales field that said, hey, this could be a product that mechanics would use in the shop. I got a couple contacts in distribution. We could start selling them there. And year after year, we kind of just had this business rolling that we only had a few people focused on. And we started gaining traction. Really, when fuel came out, which we can talk about a little bit later, that's when performance hit the next level for power tools. And there's a huge bump in our sales right when the half-inch high torque you were talking about earlier, Captain Ron, hit the market. We saw a huge spike in automotive sales. People saw that product and were like, all right, finally, tool that can replace my pneumatic half-inch impact wrench. And from that point on, we've really started to develop more specific solutions. So 2015, the fuel ratchets came out. I know a lot of people have the fuel ratchets. 2017, I believe, 2018, maybe the M12 fuel stubbies came out. And that really is kind of the base of our automotive business is those three products. And, polishers, rivet tools, all that came after as a result, which is great.
Oh yeah, and that stuff has been flying off the shelves. I know personally at our local place is a Home Depot, at least around here, which is one of the biggest distributors of Milwaukee Tools. Even on like day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday sales, we could hardly ever keep that stuff in stock. That stuff would be cleared off the shelf before everything else there on that day. I got lucky. I went in at 6 a.m., which I'm crazy enough to be able to do that stuff. My wife told me I was crazy, but I went in there just to get me some more batteries because I had, kind of spread out my Milwaukee Tools from a couple of the places, at work, at home and everything. So needed a couple more of them. So it's hard to find some of them, but they do a really good job. And that just goes to show you how widely used and how popular they really are.
Yeah, we have a saying here in the office, the power of the brand is at a point now where it's never been. And, we're selling, like you were saying, products that we can't really even keep in stock anymore sometimes just because there's such a demand for our product, which I think speaks to what we do with our development is we're focused on solving user frustrations and delivering innovative product that doesn't exist on the market right now. And, I think that's what is driving that sales boom that you're seeing.
Oh yeah, JRC knows where it's going. He's telling you guys make sure you get stock in Milwaukee or TTI.
Right.
That's the way to do things. Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about something different here. Let's go on to innovation. So Milwaukee, obviously, in the market right now is pretty much at the tip of the sword when it comes to innovating for new products. And from what I have delved into research-wise is that you guys put a lot of time, effort, and money into innovation over brand representation, I guess it would say.
Yes.
So let's dive into a little bit on what you guys do for innovative products, maybe how they come about, how long it takes to develop, maybe a couple things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're very proud of our MPD abilities here at Milwaukee Tool. So obviously, my job is really built around going out into the field with mechanics and finding out what's their biggest frustrations with the products they're using today. Also, what's their biggest frustrations with the applications that they're working on, and is there a better way to do it? And we spend, like you were saying, most of our time and money on that versus sponsorship. So there's a reason why you don't see us in center field at Wrigley with a big Milwaukee banner, because we're spending that money on new product development and not trying to, get our name up on the biggest headline that we can. So it's a different way to go to market, and it's something that really separates us from our competitors. And when we're out in the field, we do a lot of really cool things to get products to the market faster than anyone else. So a lot of people are probably thinking, man, Milwaukee just comes out with so many solutions. Every year there's a new product. And that's because we can go to market so much faster than our competitors, because we don't have a lot of the same bottlenecks that they do when it comes to product development.
Now, what kind of bottlenecks are you talking there in the way of development?
So it's a streamlined process in the office. We have capabilities to make prototypes super fast here. So we have a whole facility set up for rapid prototype development. So our engineers, we come to our engineers with an idea. They can go ahead and make a sketch of it in CAD, have it printed, and then we can have it out in the field in less than 5 days. And that allows us to be super quick with product and prototypes. And then from there, the investment from our organization at a high level to say we're going to resource new product development and have all of the engineers necessary, all of the supply chain and operations necessary to get product to the market fast. It's an investment by the company as well to open up all of that versus some other brands don't want to spend all that money on SG&A and overhead, but we choose to go fast to the market.
Well, that's really, really awesome. I tell you what, you guys do a great job at doing that one, and what you guys do to be able to get stuff out onto the market as fast as you do is something that's really, really great. Now, one of the best things that I also really enjoy about that is the fact that you guys take into account what people in the field and your markets are actually saying and using with these tools. How do you guys use in the field testing to, I guess, change what you guys innovate?
Very good segue. So I want to show you something, which is a pretty cool little case study that we have. So when we were developing the cordless ratchet, we had we have like 7 different motors that we can use at the time to put into a power tool brushless motor. And we brought in our smallest motor that we could out to the field, and we had a prototype, and we said, hey, is this going to be something that you would use? And one of the biggest feedbacks is, so if you look at this is actually a competitive unit. This is where the motor is, and you can see how big and bulky it is. And if you're using a ratchet, you're trying to get into a tight spot, right? You're not, have the luxury of having a lot of space. So this wasn't able to get into the spots they're looking for. So we went out and actually designed a motor. See if I can find it. So this is the head of our ratchet, and we went out and designed a motor that actually will fit right up inside of the ratchet and making it as streamlined as possible, so you can get into that tight spot. And that's something that most power tools companies wouldn't do, because it's a big investment to go out, develop a new motor, and also it's direct feedback from the user. It's for an engineer, what makes most sense is use a product that we already have. It's going to be a lot more cost effective. It's faster. But for us, we knew that we weren't going to have success with this product unless we designed it to what the user wanted. And so I think it's paid off. I think a lot of people really like this product, and it's been a home run solution for us in the marketplace. So that's really, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one of the user questions that we got at since you brought out the 90-degree the ratchet there was the design aspect of it. One of the biggest, I guess, hangups that people were to have about that is the design of the larger head compared to, I guess, other brands in the market. Can you go into elaborate a little bit more onto that and why it is so?
Yeah, good, great point. So we've had our brush ratchet on the marketplace for a long time, and our brush ratchet, I forget the model number, I think it's 2550, doesn't matter, whatever it is. We had a lot of users who were complaining about the durability of that product, and the front housing would break, if they wanted to tighten a bolt at the end or try to break something free. So we developed, this is all actually investment cast housing. So it's a manufacturing process that really makes this tool a lot stronger and harder to break. And that is the reason why it's a little bit bulkier, because we went through the extra effort to make it more durable, so that you would have less instances where you're cracking your anvil or breaking the head of the ratchet. And it might have sacrificed a little bit of space, but that's always an opportunity for us to get better. So the next generation of ratchets, whenever they come out, that's definitely an opportunity for us to innovate on that.
Sweet. That is awesome. Now, one of my favorite things that has to do with Milwaukee and what it has meant as a brand, and it's something that all of the other, I guess, cordless electronic tool manufacturers have kind of led into is their batteries. The
Yeah.
batteries that you guys use are awesome. That's a great system, and they fit every single tool. I mean, how many tools across the line do you guys have now? I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, that's a great question. We're over 200 on M18, I believe, and then we're over 100 on M12 now. So over 300 solutions between those two battery platforms.
Jesus.
And
So
then,
you want to go into some more detail on the actual battery solutions themselves?
yes, absolutely. So just to kind of give a quick, rundown with batteries, they're super important because you think about any specific product, it's just one product that's going to be used for a specific application. But for a battery, it's being used on 200 different solutions and on how many ever, countless applications. So battery pack has to be really well thought through, and a lot of things need to go into making sure you have the best batteries. So first and foremost, we have three systems now. Sorry, so we have our M12 system, we have our M18 system, and we have our MX fuel, or our MX system that just came
Which
out.
we are really excited about hearing
Right?
more of. Those things sound awesome.
Yeah, it's talk about innovation and a breakthrough. That's going to be a big thing for us moving forward. But we understand. I know that on your previous episodes, you're talking about the investment that you have to do when you you become a mechanic. You have to buy your own tools, right? It's a big investment.
Yep.
So at our company, we understand that. So a lot of other brands see a battery platform as, well, if we want more power, we'll just change the voltage, and it's easier for us, and you'll get more performance. But the big downside, obviously, is that you're not going to be able to use your batteries anymore. So instead of us saying it's easier, let's just increase the voltage, we design around our current pack to get the performance users are looking for. So for us, we're excited to say that if it's M12, it fits in any M12 tool. If it's M18, it fits in any M18 tool. So if you're going to go out and buy product to start off as a mechanic, know that we're highly invested in keeping both of those systems around for a very long time, with a lot of solutions to come on those. So you
That's
can feel
really
good.
awesome because I know a lot of other leading manufacturers are pretty bad on that. I mean, just
Yes.
for some examples, Snap-on changes theirs every like 7 years now. I mean, with the tools that some of the guys that don't use it literally every single day and want to be as invested into it to have to trade in all of their line of tools every 7 years. I mean, that kind of sucks to see.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's a pain point that we feel because we're in the field with our users all the time. Maybe other companies don't see it as much because it's a bottom line decision for them. It's not a strategic long term thought for them. So actually, if you want to go back up to yep. So really the big things about cordless technology is there's three main things that make a battery better than other batteries. So first is cell selection. We work with the best partners in the industry, Samsung, Sony, LG. We come out only with the best cells. So people come to us all the time and say, hey, put this cell into our battery, or in your battery, it's the best one on the market. But we don't do that. We test all of our cells first to make sure they're up to our standards. Second is pack construction. So you look at the image there, there's a lot of things that go into making sure that our batteries are the most durable in the market, but also have the most power, the most runtime, and the most life of any of the other ones on the market. And then pack protection, we know lithium it's a great technology, but it needs to be done right. And when it's not done right, bad things can happen. So we're happy to say that we have the best pack protection on the market as well to keep things from going haywire during use. So
now the cells that you guys use in your batteries, are those 18650s or I forgot the number for the batteries, the larger batteries?
Yeah, 21700.
Yeah.
So yep. So we have so the 18650 is, it's kind of hard to see here, but that's what we have in our first M18 red lithium batteries. And actually, I think if you scroll down a couple slides, we can show you what I'm talking about. That's our pack construction. Very nice. A little bit more, one more, I believe, and then right there. So the cells are different in our new high output batteries, which is the 21700s. So if you have that
Mhm.
gray bar going across your battery that says high output, that's the new 21700 cells. And this is what Tesla's using in their cars, and really this is kind of the future of lithium for the next foreseeable future. And we're happy to say that we have just as much power as anything that you could get like on a 60-volt battery. So you think about some of our competitors, they say, hey, you need 60 volts to get power to do things like a rear handle circ saw or a table saw, whatever that is. And we're doing all that with just an M18 battery, 18 volts, and these high output cells. So that's a great example of our leadership in technology and innovation. It's hard to do what we're talking about there, making table saw work on an M18 battery. That's a lot, and
Oh
it's all
yeah.
done with this type of
Yeah.
technology we have, which is pretty cool.
Now, when you're talking like what my buddy from Junk from Work was asking about the current limiting strategy, especially in some of the tools that are used in the automotive field with impacts or these ratchets that obviously they only work up to a certain amount of torque, and you don't want to over torque them, causing too much heat, too much wear on the tool. At what point do you see the use of that compared to the wear on the tool?
So like, how do we balance the performance?
Yes.
Yeah. So we do a lot of testing. Like we'll go to a user and we'll say, hey, we want you to use this product like you normally would if this was a pneumatic die grinder, for instance. And we put a little pack on there that will measure the voltage and the amp draw as they're pushing on the product. And we can see, how much energy it's going to take to do the application, and then try to extrapolate over the course of that application how much runtime they're going to need. And we have certain limits, obviously, on our packs that shut off the tool to keep them, keep your investment from going away, so prevent the motor from smoking and all that. And it's a balancing act. So you got to really find that line of how much amp draw you can put out on the product for a certain amount of time, and that really helps us determine, is this going to be a 12 volt product or an 18 volt product or even a MX product. And that's kind of how that breakdown works.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to, I guess, even those things out, the performance compared to the strategy on making the tool last for as long as it is. Now, when we're talking about lasting, that's another huge point that Milwaukee really has to them is their warranty.
Yeah.
So you got to know that everybody who uses the Milwaukee tools, they have the best leading in the industry warranty process on that one. Now, sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, wow, you guys are crazy in doing that one.
Yeah.
Being able to offer a warranty, a 5-year warranty on these tools. Some of these guys are pretty rough on those tools. I mean, how are you guys able to do that?
Yeah, it's another example of committing to the user versus committing to a bottom line. And we definitely hit our bottom line as far as profitability as a company, but we make up for it in other ways, because really it comes down to a user's going to use their tool for however much in that year, and we can measure that. And then we say, we want our tools to be designed to last for at least 5 years of that use. And to do that, you have to really, you oftentimes have to either design better so it takes longer to develop, or you have to use a little bit more premium material, which adds a little extra cost. But for
Mhm.
us, we know that the end user is going to have a better experience, their product's going to last longer, and at the end of the day, they're going to like our products better, so they're going to come back and buy our product again, versus, hey, it's too expensive to put in that extra cost into our product. And a lot of our competitors do that, and I think it shows with their warranty being bad, and then their tools having, bad runtime, whatever, smoking the drill in the first 2 weeks that they have the product.
Yeah, and that's a huge deal for that one. Now that's really great. I'm glad that you guys are able to do that, and that you put that much investment back into the people who are using your tool systems. I mean, one, it's a huge sales point, at least to me personally, and to a lot of the other guys that I do a lot of these videos for. They like to see the warranty behind the tools that they put out, because I mean, anymore, especially in the automotive field. People have to spend so much money on these tools. Here in the US, people aren't having these tools given to them by their companies that they work at. They actually have to buy them themselves.
Right.
So it puts a lot more vested interest into these tool systems because the people are spending their own money, left and right there for it. So a lot of the time they do a lot more research, and the points of, like I said, tool longevity and warranty really weigh in on what people look for when they're looking into a system like that. Now, usually, I guess research goes to show that after some people are bought into some of these systems, they're a little bit more vested interest wise in the way of, just what human nature is in
Right.
matching everything. So
Yep.
I know I am bad and I am guilty for that. I like everything to match, but anymore, when you're spending this much money on tools, I want the thing to work for as long as it's going to work. And if it's going to have a company that's offering more of a warranty like this, it makes you want to jump over to have just that warranty in place because, like I said, people are rough on tools, and I'm sure you guys see that and do that in testing as well, don't you?
Yeah, we have basically every product that we come out with, we have a very stringent set of tests that we have to put the product through in order for it to make the next round of prototypes. So if we set, hey, this is what this tool needs to do in 5 years of its life, and we test and it's not hitting that, we don't move to the next round. We figure out, hey, what's wrong with the product? What do we need to do differently to make this product last 5 years? And then implement those changes and then move forward with the project. So we don't skimp out and cut corners and say, all right, well, this one's going to be 2 year, or this one's only going to be 1 year product. It's doing things the right way and making sure that we give the best experience for our customers.
Now, in the way of these newer innovative products that we've kind of been talking about, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about these motors. When these cordless tools started off,
I can't hear him.
Hey, he can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. I can hear Captain Ron, but I can't hear you.
Is that better? Are we back?
There you go.
Okay. All right. Sorry, my little mic thing popped out here. So one of the biggest things here for guys that are getting into this industry is the newer innovative things like we were talking about. And one of the biggest things that a lot of these cordless manufacturers are going to is the use of brushless motors.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about brushless motors and where are they coming from in the industry and what are they going to?
Yeah, great question. What I want to do is kind of give you a quick history of really where motors are at, where they've come from in general on the power tool side. So this is the first motor that was out on the market for cordless tools. It's called a can motor. Looks like a can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a brush motor. It's got a metal housing to make the motor, give it the structure that it needs. But really what you have here is just a heat trap. So that metal is just, anytime the motor gets hot, it's going to take forever for that thing to cool down. And we know heat's bad for electronics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hot, it's not going to work as well. So can motors are great in certain situations. We still use can motors in certain situations, but in general, this is not going to be a high performing product. This is a baseline general motor. So the next innovation was something called an open frame motor. So you can see that really that big metal housing that was around the motor is gone, and what you're left with is just the magnets on the outside, and then you got the copper on the inside, and then you would have brushes on the back there connecting the whole system. But this was great because now your tool runs a lot cooler, and it can be pushed a lot harder. And we're happy to say we have a lot of our brush motors that are open frame, and they also have magnets. So on the outside here it's a 4-pole magnet. A lot of companies will use 2-pole magnets, which are it's a cost savings for them. Only use 2 magnets instead of 4, but the tool operates less efficiently. Or we have some competitors that go as far as to use like this crushed metal powder. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rub my finger on there, and you can see that it's just like a really, really cheap spray that they coat the outside of their or stator width to keep this thing, less expensive. So for us, that's something that we're not willing to do. We put the extra cost in our products so that our motors run better than our competitors. And open frame motor brushed is something that you can still find on the shelves today. All of our M18 brush drills, have this 4-pole open frame motor in them. So still good technology, but really the big advancement was when we came out with brushless motors. So cool thing about Milwaukee Tool is we were the first to put brushless motors in power tools. So big difference that you can see is that the outside, there's where the copper is, and on the inside is where the magnet. So it's inverted from what a brush motor is. And it does two things for you. So the first is the heat is being generated by the copper, and that's dissipated a lot faster. So your tool runs cooler, but we all know that you pull the trigger on a brush drill, it starts to spark, right? You see it in the back of the drill.
Right. Yep, exactly. Or all the stuff that you have nicely dumped into it starts to smoke. But, one of those things.
Yeah, exactly. So great thing about a brushless is there's no spark, which makes that situation go away, but also the runtime goes up, and also the life of your tool goes up. So every time that spark in the back happens, your brushes are wearing down and down and down and down, and eventually you got to get those replaced, spend a bunch of money, whatever it is, to get those fixed. So brushless motor is a lot longer. You get more power out of it, more runtime. In general, it's just a better solution. And so Milwaukee saw this opportunity, and we dived in. So I see that you pulled up basically this slide, which is showing that with our motors, we design them for the tool. So a drill has a much different operation than, let's say, a Sawzall or an impact does. So you got to design the motor differently for each product. And that's what Milwaukee does better than any of our competitors is we design our own motors. We also manufacture our own motors in-house, and they're all specific for the tools that we're using. So that is how we can go to market faster, have better quality, is we take it all in-house. We have a whole team here at Milwaukee dedicated to innovating just motors, which is kind of crazy to think about that there's such a specific unit of the business just focused on that. But you can tell that our motors are going to run cooler. They're going to have more power, and they're also going to have better runtime and longer life than our competitive brushless motors that are out there.
That's really sweet. I mean, that's nice to be able to see exactly that. Not only does your tool line have the warranty to back it, but it's going to have a system that's actually going to last for the life of that warranty.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet right there.
Exactly. It's and so you see it on the box, 5 years. It's not just a number. We stand behind that. Absolutely. So this is a cool example of the processes we have in place to manufacture our own motors. So that's what a motor winding machine looks like, in case you're interested. And the last thing is that I think another thing that really separates us is we push the boundaries of technology. So when we come out with new product, a lot of times the components don't exist on the marketplace yet. So like we went to Texas Instruments and said we needed this sensor for our motor to work. They've come back to us and said, hey, we don't have that sensor yet. We can make it, but it's going to require us to work together to figure that out. So we work hand in hand with technology leaders in the market to actually come out with new technology just for us to make a tool work. So a big example of that is the electronics that we have in our motor require significant investment from the suppliers that we work with as well. So I think that's pretty cool to see development of technology that doesn't exist that comes into existence, and then you have a product on the market that's better than anything that's ever been put out before.
Sweet. Well, right now at this time, we are going to be doing something really awesome for everybody who is here still in the chat right now. We've got like 80, 90 people in here right now, which is awesome. I'm glad you guys have been able to stick around through this. And we're going to be doing a really sweet giveaway thanks to Mark and the guys over at Milwaukee. Why don't you tell us a bit about it there, Ron? I'll bring up a picture.
Well, Guys, I apologize for being super quiet. I've been playing troubleshooter for the first half of this live stream, so my apologies for not speaking up and being a little bit more interactive. But now's my time to shine because I get to announce that we are going to be doing a giveaway. Just like Russ Bell said, Mark from Milwaukee is going to be kind enough to be giving away one of the M18 Extended Anvil half-inch impact kits.
Bam.
Go.
As you guys can see right here on the screen, right over here, you're going to get the Extended Anvil M18 Impact. If Kyle will leave it up on the screen. The
Sure.
M18 Impact, I believe that's 2 batteries. I can't read it very well.
Yep. You,
Yeah,
you have
2.
250 batteries.
Yep. So you get 2 batteries, you get a charger, you get a bag, and you get the Extended Anvil just for participating in the giveaway. So I am going to start this giveaway, and we're going to make sure. What do you mean there's no eligible members? All right, hang on. Let me figure this out. No eligible.
Well, while we're doing this, Mark, why don't you tell us a little bit about this on what they're going to be able to win?
Yeah. So this is a cool product. We've all seen the half-inch high torque impact wrench on the market, and that's great for service techs and really anyone in the industry. This is a really targeted solution for the tire technician in the marketplace. And right now, there's 2 ways that you can limit torque when you're doing tire changes. Either A, you can use a torque stick, and so we all know what that is. You put it on your impact wrench, it's going to limit your torque, and that's going to keep you from over or under fastening. So with this, we're going to get rid of the torque stick, and you're going to be able to dial in your torque setting depending on your car. So there's 2 settings on there that will allow you to be for passenger vehicles or for like pickup trucks and heavier duty trucks like that. Different torque settings, and then the other big benefit is you have other than torque sticks, you have pneumatic tools that will limit your torque output, but all they're doing is just dumping air on the side to keep you from getting that torque. And we all know that air is just money, just going straight out the window. So it will also be a lot more effective with those tools. So you don't have to waste your pneumatic air you're generating. Also, you can be more accurate than a torque stick where you have a lot of variability of what that torque is. So that's the solution here is more accurate torque on your tires.
That's awesome. So how are we doing there, Captain Ron? Going to be working?
Well, I'm going to try something. I was trying to try doing our typical giveaway, which is where we put a keyword in, and everybody, whoever wants to get into it is going to get into it, and then we roll for that. But for whatever reason, the chat bots are being contrary this evening. So what I'm going to try now is if you've been active in the chat for the past 6 minutes, you are eligible for this. Now, you will have to speak up if your name is called, and we're going to give you how long? 30 seconds?
30 seconds. No, we'll give them a couple of minutes.
2 seconds. You got 2 seconds to answer. No, we'll give you about 2 minutes or so to answer, and if we don't hear from you, then we're going to re-roll it. So we're going to try this and see if this works. And if obviously of course it's not going to work. God. YouTube, why do you have to change things? Why do things have to be so why do things have to be so difficult?
I know, we love these cool technology things. All right. We're going to run something.
Better, but makes it worse sometimes.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to find a random number generator. And we're just going to pick people out of the list of people who are available.
So you have a list and your number generator is going to pick?
Yep.
Cool. That's what I like to see. So we're going to have Captain Ron roll this. Wait here, get him just another minute or so in this one. And we can talk a little bit more, here on this one. Let's go into a little bit on exactly where do you guys think, as a company, Mark, do you guys see yourselves going innovation-wise here in the next, I don't know, say year or so in the automotive field?
So great question.
And by the way, also feel free to let out of the bag any of the new products coming out because we'd love to hear them. We really would. I mean, there's only like 90 people in here. 90 people. It's not that many.
I mean, it doesn't seem like that wouldn't be an issue, right? Like no one's gonna be able to like take this video, post it, do anything else with it, right?
No. These guys are cool. I'll vouch for them. Don't worry about
secret. Okay, cool. So yeah, I was prompted for this question by our social team. So we're always looking at new technology, and it's not going to be a secret. We're obviously very invested in this space, and there's going to be a lot of new products coming out, and there's a lot of investment on our side, for the automotive industry. So, right now we've been, I guess, kind of doing products that are general that a lot of people can go out and use. But there's going to be a lot of investment in new specific solutions that will really change the way that you get the job done today and make you more productive and hopefully make you guys more money in the shops so you don't, get the job done faster, make more money. So,
oh yeah,
there's going to be a lot of that coming, and we're excited that, like I was saying earlier, it's still coming out with our 12 and 18 volt products, and you can build on that system that you already have. You don't have to go out and purchase any new battery system to get what we're offering. So I think that's about as much as I can say. I know that we've at SEMO we talked about this product. It's not quite yet been announced through the media, but the right angle die grinder has been a huge product for us. A lot of people have been asking about the straight version. So we are coming out with the straight version, which is going to be a big thing for us. And then another product that we talked about, but is kind of a little bit of a hidden gem that's coming out next year is the right angle die grinder boot. So this is coming out here in the next couple months. So I actually just got these on my desk a couple days ago and pulled out a box here. But you're talking about your warranty and your service. Cool thing about these boots is they protect the serial code on your tool. So if you're spraying your tool with brake cleaner and all that stuff, you clean it, it's great because your tool's clean. But then now your serial number on your tool just wipes away. So we really recommend these for anyone who's working in the shop because it protects your investment there. It's a lot easier to warranty.
Feel free to send me the prototype one. I mean, that'll be all right.
Got it. Talk to Liz. Get that done. But yeah, so this is coming, which is really exciting. And then the straight die grinder we talked about is coming out next year in the first quarter there. So
sweet.
Two ones coming up. So the 90 people in the room there. There you go.
Awesome. This is why it pays to be here live with us, because you get that insider information. However, while we're throwing it out there, you guys can also listen to this afterwards because we throw it up on our podcast feed as well. So if you guys haven't checked us out on the podcast feed, make sure you do that over on your favorite podcast listening app. You guys can find us, and we upload this about within the next 24 hours after the airing of the live stream. But who cares about podcasts right now? We want to know who wins. Who's winning this awesome prize? And after grueling and personal pain of me and figuring out how to use chatbots and them not working and then having to go through other reasons.
That painful. It was Captain Ron's silence for like half an hour, right?
It was painful, trust me. After all the tallies have happened, I came to a conclusion, and the winner of our prize this evening is going to be Mr. Grease E Monkey.
Hey.
Grease E Monkey, you are the winner of the 1/2-inch Milwaukee M18 extended anvil, but we do need to see you in here. Grease E Monkey, I need to see something in here, so make sure you get something into the comments. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll. Grease E Monkey, we need to see you in here.
A lot of people saying they win, but a lot of people not named Greasy Monkey. So, I mean, if he doesn't win, I'll go ahead and accept his prize on his behalf. And
I mean, it happens there. Grease E Monkey is he in here?
Where is
Where's
he
he at?
at?
Can only give him like 15 more seconds because we're gonna have to re-roll this one.
Uh,
Must be present to win, right?
yep,
That's
that's
right.
pretty much how it works.
Go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's lots of people here.
There,
there
he
he is.
is at the in the
There he is.
last few
Right
seconds.
at the buzzer. How
Says
about
he's
that
here.
one?
So, all right, man. So what you need to do is you need to email Mr. Kyle up there. Assuming emailing
Yep.
you, Kyle. Yes. So
Yep.
email him at therustbeltmechanic@gmail.com or hit him up over on Instagram at rustbeltmechanic and let him know that's you, and he will get you in touch with them and get it taken care of.
You
Sweet.
guys, are you guys okay if we do one more raffle?
If
One
you
more
want to,
raffle?
we'll give
One
more
more?
stuff away.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's Christmas, right?
Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I know the die grinder. The right angle is hard to find. A lot of people have been looking for it. It's on back order, but I do have one at my office, and
I win.
I would love to raffle that away. So if the chat bots don't interfere.
Nope, it's all right for this one. Because the way this one's working is just everybody who's put a comment in the
Yep.
last like 6 to 8 minutes is going to be entered. So for this one, I want everybody in chat to type in Milwaukee. Just type in Milwaukee, so that
How do you
way
spell? How do you
you'll
spell
be in
that?
there, and we'll pull one off of this one.
There, I have the first one that said it. You can go ahead and pick now.
It does not work that way, Captain. I see how
Ah,
it is.
that's okay. I'll just go steal yours. I need a ratchet instead.
Yep. So everybody just needs to type in Milwaukee or something into the chat, so you guys will get into this part of the giveaway. Type it, type it, type it. There we are. Everybody's getting excited now about free tools.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone loves free
honestly,
tools.
who wouldn't get excited about free tools? To be entirely honest.
Exactly. And it is a great, great Christmas present for this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you guys need my address to send it to, I will be more than happy to give it to you.
Duplicate shipping happens all the time. So
I know. Yeah,
yeah.
happens all the time.
Sweet. All right. 30 more seconds here. Since we'll just, because I want whoever's in here to actually get it. I don't want to have to go through all this stuff and have to
Oh, look at
re-roll and
this.
repick. That does not
Hunter
get you
trying to
extra.
Hunter's trying to sweeten the pot by throwing $2 my way. He's like, "Hey,
Oh,
I said Milwaukee."
Okay. Our time is now up on this one.
Done.
Gonna pull for this one. And our winner of our 90-degree right angle is going to be Tanner Angstadt. Ang
What?
Tanner.
STADT. Tanner Angstadt.
Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Tanner.
Tanner.
There you go.
So Tanner Angstadt, you need to make sure that you email me or message me over on Instagram or email me at therustbeltmechanic@gmail.com. Congratulations.
He's said Milwaukee like 5 more times since you picked his name.
It's just
I'm
changed.
like, Milwaukee, 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 Milwaukee.
I'm pretty sure everybody in there type stuff in like 13 times during that entire process. But hey, it was somebody who was here, and we didn't have to wait for however long. Yep.
Yo.
Tanner Angstadt, congrats, man. I really appreciate you getting in on this one. We got another 5 or 6 minutes here till the end of stream, and we want to open it up to some of your questions. And one of the questions that was given here earlier is going to be having to do with the half-inch mid-torque impacts. We're going to see if Mark can go into a little bit more on the half-inch mid-torque impact, because that's one that I've been doing a lot of review on between the Milwaukee one. I've been doing a lot with the SP Tools one, which has been really impressive also. Where's Milwaukee going on their mid-torque line?
It's so cool story about the mid torque is it was really developed to fill that gap, obviously between the high and the compact, and the whole purpose, other than some mechanical applications, was really for the automotive trade. to do lug nuts, suspension work, basically something that's lighter, still powerful. That you don't have to get out the heavy half-inch for. We've seen great sales come through on that product. It's part of one of our highest moving kits in the automotive segment, and we are not going to rest on our laurels, shall I say. Very, very excited about stuff that will be coming in the future with that.
Excellent. So that's about as much as I think as we're going to be able to pry out to that one. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about mid torque impacts because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the high torque impact. I've got the 1-key one. I've had it for like almost 2 years now, and that thing is a tank. I beat the crap out of that thing, and it just keeps on going. But I hurt my elbow like going on 6 months ago. Not really bad or anything. Just it got to the point where holding an 8-pound impact just got a little bit, cumbersome throughout the day. And having that mid torque is something that is really good to have in the shop because it's able to do like 90 to 95% of everything that's in the shop that we have going for on that one.
Yeah. I think dream state is it does everything. So if we can get to that point someday, that would be awesome. So that's the
Jack's
future.
Auto Repair asked about warranty. If you purchase on Amazon, does it still carry the same warranty?
That is a awesome question. I wanted to actually talk about this because when I'm in the shops talking to users, I ask them where they get their tools. We have a lot of people purchasing off mobile dealers, so Cornwell, any independent dealers that they work with, which is awesome. We fully support those companies and brands and users. But we, as an organization, do not sell to Amazon, period. So we don't sell to Amazon. We don't sell to anyone who sells to Amazon. So if you buy your product off Amazon, there's a chance it could show up in a box that was for a coffee maker that has the wrong tool in it. And we, as an organization, can't do anything about that. So it's a tough lesson that a lot of people have learned. And it's hit or miss. It's up to you.
I totally get that one.
Yeah, if it's worth it to you to save some money potentially, the risk is you get the wrong product or you get a tool that's been used, the warranty's not right, and we highly recommend that you don't purchase off Amazon. There's a lot of
even those guys who are selling there under the name Milwaukee Tool, you guys yourselves do not sell on Amazon.
That is absolutely correct.
Answer question. I personally I didn't even know that. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I didn't either, considering that I've been looking at Milwaukee Tools on Amazon. So it's probably a good idea that I don't do that anymore.
If you if you go to our website and you go to any product and you say buy this or where to find this, it'll take you to, I think it's called Price Spider or something like that, and it shows all the verified retailers that you can go online and purchase it from, and those are factory warranty or whatever you want to call it approved distributors that we work with.
Now, how do you go about registering for that warranty once you find it at one of these places?
Like for Acme Tool or something,
or wherever you decide to purchase.
You buy it. Yeah. So when you purchase your product, the date code on your product is the way that we check the warranty. So we know it spent X amount of time on the shelf, and it was purchased in this time span. And if you go to our service center or you do e-service, your warrant or your barcode on your tool is the way that we verify our warranty. So it's very important to protect that, like we talked about earlier. So rubber boots are a great idea. We all have phones. Just take a picture. Like, it's really not that hard. Buy your tool, take a picture.
Great idea. Yes, definitely.
It's simple, but people get into a situation where they don't know that's how we do our warranty, and they get very frustrated about it. We take care of them at the end of the day. We're going to work with you to fix your tool, but it's a lot easier if you just have your serial number on the product.
Excellent. Great points on that one.
Or you just be a YouTuber and do a toolbox tour, and then you have all your stuff.
Exactly.
Very, very smart thing, guys. For insurance purposes, doing the toolbox tours and having it posted on YouTube, it's a really great way to ensure your tools are what they are for when if something ever happens at your shop, fire or theft or anything like that. You've got all of your tools. You make sure, oh, yep, there's that one, and it's all covered. So
Yeah.
just a great
Or I'm going to plug One Key real fast. I know a lot of people, One Key is kind of,
yeah.
it is One Key, but if you purchase a One Key product, you can add that tool to your inventory, and now that tool's obviously going to be there. And you can do cool things like if you're in the shop and you want to go to lunch, you can lock your tool out so the guy next to you is not going to come grab that tool and start using it because you've locked it out.
Kyle's done that to me before.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
exactly. Now, my buddy from Chad from Over Practical Mechanic brings up a good point on some of these tools, like my 1/2-inch impact that I've had for like 2 years that we beat the crap out of.
Right.
You may not be able to see that serial number anymore. What's the maybe we can put that into some of the Milwaukee higher ups here, that maybe we could have a steel stamp or something like that for serial numbers, because we kill them.
Yep. It's we're aware of it, and we're thinking through ways to fix it. So,
Gotcha.
more to come.
There we go. Cool. I like that. I like that answer.
Yeah.
This guy should be a politician. He really, I mean, he
Right.
does a really good job at it.
Dodging.
It's all about redirection. That's what it is. It's like you talk about it for a minute, then you just kind of steer away from it.
Answer a question that wasn't asked, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Like, I don't know why you answered that, but that makes a lot of sense. That's perfect.
Now
Right?
I gotta find a way to ask this next question, because it was one that somebody is, or like 4 people asked in here. Like, is it a possibility that there would ever be a cordless air hammer? I mean, obviously, that's the one tool that has not been carried over from pneumatic to electric air hammers. What's your
Well,
views on it?
I'll be a little coy here. Obviously, it wouldn't be an air hammer, right?
You know what I'm talking about.
I got you. I got you.
He makes a good point.
Uh-huh.
So I could have left it there, and I said, "Yeah." um, so I think the best way to answer this is we're asked and suggested product ideas all the time, and we've got a certain amount of time that it takes for us to develop a product, right? So, it takes from inception date to market. It can take a year, 2 years, 3 years, and for us to comment on a product before it's to market kind of leaves liability open to where, oh well, I said it on Rust Belt Mechanics, live video that I wanted a cordless air hammer. Milwaukee Tool said that they were going to do it.
It's okay. Nobody
Oh,
watches
that's
this
my
anyways.
product, right? That's my idea. So for that reason, is one of the biggest reasons why we don't comment. So yes, that's been suggested to us, and we take every suggestion and consider it. So
Gotcha. So if somebody was to have any of these, I guess, questions or ideas or anything, how do they go about getting their ideas to somebody who actually matters at Milwaukee?
you would be surprised at how much time we spend tracking comments on social media. So if you really feel strongly about something, posting on a Facebook group, posting on our website on a review, that goes a long way. So we are listening, not in a weird way, but when people come to us with product issues or they come to us with things that we can do better, we're always listening. So you can send us an email. You can send any, it's digital, technology has really allowed us to communicate in ways that we never have before. So shoot us a Facebook message, whatever you want to do. We're always open to hear suggestions.
Cool.
Well, speaking of suggestions, AgTech45, we'll go ahead and throw his out because I think
All
this
right.
is actually a pretty good idea that I've personally thought of sometimes when I'm working. He says a battery magnet like Snap-on would be awesome. So
Okay.
the 14.4 line, they've got these little boots that you basically can shove on and slide onto the bottom of the battery, and it will magnetize to a wall, or you can use it to pick up screws or stuff like that.
Okay.
Something like that would be available for your 2 amp or 2 hour or 5 hour amp batteries,
Sure.
that would just snap onto it and make it a magnetized base. Now, granted, I know that some of the products, like you're going with the 1/2-inch impacts and stuff like that. That'd be a pretty beefy magnet to try to hold up that
Yeah.
much weight. Um, But for some of your smaller stuff, like your impacts, having because I know those take the smaller M12 batteries that don't really stand up on their own all too well.
Sure.
But having some sort of boot that would make it to where it can stand up, or granted, I guess you could use the battery that's got the base to it, but the
In other
smaller ones
words,
don't have
Captain
that.
Ron's tired of dropping his tools and destroying them, or dropping my tools and destroying them.
That's fair.
Wait a minute. I don't drop any of your tools.
Yes, never.
That is a great suggestion. We appreciate that feedback, and that's all I can say.
Cool. All right. Well, we are rolled just a little bit over our hour time that we've kind of gone on here, and I know there's been tons more of the questions from you guys, so we might have to have you guys back on here, Mark, sometime to be able to answer some more.
That would be awesome. Obviously we hung out at SEMA, had a great time, and we want to keep on your show, and you guys are obviously welcome here for NPS in 2020.
Can I come next year?
Yes. Done.
Sweet.
Just sign check. Just whatever. Come on out.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming in tonight, Mark, to be able to answer all the questions for us. It has been a treat to have you guys on. And I want to say thank you to all of the subscribers who have kind of tuned in to us, who have put in your questions, and a big congratulations to our two winners of the giveaways tonight.
Yep.
So going forward on the channels for this next week, Captain Ron, what you got going on over in your channel?
It's about the same as I had going on last week. I need to continue working on videos. I have been super freaking swamped at work trying to get stuff done. I have not had time to literally do anything with the YouTubes, but I am going to try to get a video out before Christmas. Have a early Christmas present for some people, But other than that, I've got several different things on my plate that are not YouTube involved, which I need to take care of. So
sweet. And personally, over on my channel, we've got all kinds of nifty stuff happening over the next couple of weeks. One is going to be make sure you guys stay tuned into Toolhead's Crate. I know I bring this one up a lot. It's our monthly subscription service that myself, JRC54, and Captain Ron put on for you guys who are looking for a little bit of a monthly surprise for the tool lovers that we all have. Christmas is coming up, and our December box just shipped. So unfortunately for Christmas, this would have been the last one to be able to get to you. And the Golden Wrench winner, which will also be announced this next week from the subscriptions, is going to be winning a Milwaukee 1/4-inch Surge. So big sweet thing for those guys to be able to get one of those. So I've got nifty tools coming up. We've got some Duramax content coming up, and who knows, whatever else I decide to just kind of throw in there for the holiday features. We are going to be continuing to do our live streams here Sunday evening, and then I will also put out some announcements. We're going to be doing a special Christmas Eve live stream. Myself, at least. Maybe the captain will be able to be on there. I know you guys got some other family stuff going on, but we'll figure something out.
I'm pretty sure I'll be here.
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing some special Christmas Eve live stream for you guys to be able to hang out while you're hanging out with the family that you may or may not want to always hang out with. At least you'll have us cool dudes to be able to hang out with. Well, that's about all I've got for you guys this evening. I appreciate everybody being able to tune in. And like Captain Ron said, we do have this up on podcast format on tons of other things across the entire interweb. So if you want to listen to us on your way to work or while you're just kind of tooling around at work, make sure you check out us over on your local podcast format. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And as always, you guys stay awesome.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.